Cheddar Bay Biscuits are a guilty pleasure for anyone visiting Red Lobster, but do you have to actually be guilty about eating them? So what's the healthiest item on the starter menu at Red Lobster, or D-Lob as some people call it?
Love it. D-Lob, that's what I call it.
D-Lob.
Yeah, if you've been here enough, you call it D-Lob.
Well, the healthiest item on the starter menu at Red Lobster is the Black Tiger Shrimp Cocktail. It comes with a Thai-inspired sauce that gets its flavors from Thai chilies, cilantro, and lime. Black Tiger shrimp have a milder flavor than some shrimp, but they're also softer. At only 180 calories, this appetizer leaves plenty of room to sample other menu items. Since the sauce isn't a buttery one, it only has 4 grams of fat, one of which is saturated. While the cholesterol level is a little on the high side at 260 milligrams, it doesn't exceed the daily recommended amount. The sodium, while on the high side, stays within the daily recommended range at 1,180 milligrams. The sauce is sweet, so it does have 9 grams of sugar, but it also provides 23 grams of protein. If you're a seafood chowder fan, you'll be happy to know that Red Lobster's New England clam chowder is one of the healthier menu items at the chain. It's a creamy soup made with clams and potatoes, which comes with a package of crackers for crumbling or dipping. It's a great comfort pick, especially when you want to warm up on a cold day. However, you'll want to order it by the cup rather than the bowl to keep it healthy. A cup of the chowder is only 240 calories with 15 grams of fat. In a cup of chowder, 9 of those grams of fat are saturated. If you have a bowl of chowder instead, it puts the amount of saturated fat over the daily recommended amount. There's only 50 milligrams of cholesterol, 680 milligrams of sodium, 11 grams of carbs, and 4 grams of sugar, along with 7 grams of protein in a cup of clam chowder. The garlic grilled shrimp is on the kids' menu, but don't let that deter you from ordering it. Many people like to hack the Red Lobster experience by ordering off the kids' menu anyway. The garlic grilled shrimp only has 80 calories, even though it's grilled in garlic butter. The dish also only has 4 grams of fat, one of which is saturated, and 100 milligrams of cholesterol. It's good on the sodium front too, with just 580 milligrams. You'll also be happy to learn that there's no sugar and only 1 carb gram to go along with 11 grams of protein. We know that if you're visiting Red Lobster for Monday Ultimate Endless Shrimp, that you're likely planning on getting multiple types of shrimp. If you're looking for the healthiest shrimp choice, however, you'll want to opt for grilled shrimp. It's also an option when you're ordering Shrimp Your Way, where you can pick it alongside 1, 2, or 3 other types of shrimp. When you look at the menu, you might notice that grilled shrimp has a few more calories than the garlic shrimp scampi, 250 versus 220. But the other nutritional stats are better. For example, it has only 7 grams of fat in comparison to the 17 to 36 grams in the other endless options. While the sodium level is high at 1,130 milligrams, and it packs 30 grams of carbs, it only has 120 milligrams of cholesterol and 1 gram of sugar, while adding 16 grams of protein to your meal. Customers on social media often speak highly of Red Lobster's steaks, and there are 2 that fall on the healthy side. One is the 6 ounces Filet Mignon, which comes with the restaurant's signature seasoning. There's also a choice of 2 sides. Filet Mignon has a reputation for being both lean and tender. It comes from an area of the cow, the tenderloin, that has muscles that the animal doesn't use as often because it doesn't get overworked. The meat stays melt-in-your-mouth soft, even without a lot of marbling. If you're trying to find a healthy meat choice, this is one of the best, as it only comes in at 260 calories. While it has 14 grams of fat, only 4 of them are saturated fat. Being low in fat helps bring the cholesterol level down to only 90 milligrams for this cut of meat. It does have 850 milligrams of sodium, but only has 1 gram each of carbs and sugar. Plus, it will add 34 grams to your daily protein intake. A slightly larger steak choice is the 7-ounce sirloin. Like the filet mignon, it comes with the chain's signature seasoning. There's also a choice of 2 sides. Sirloin comes from an area in front of a cow's hind leg, helping it stay lean through exercise. Thus, it stays tender despite not having much fat marbling. Without the marbling, however, you'll want to make sure not to ask for it to be too well done, lest it lose its tenderness and juiciness. The 7 ounces sirloin has more calories than the filet mignon with 320. It also has a couple more grams of fat for 15 in total, and slightly more cholesterol at 140 milligrams. But there's no sugar at all, only 1 lonely gram of carbs, and a whopping 46 grams of protein. One of the classic meals you can order at Red Lobster is the grilled sea scallops and shrimp skewers dish. The wood-fire grilled scallops and shrimp come on skewers and are served over a bed of rice. It also comes with 2 sides. Of course, when it comes to healthy menu options, everything's relative. At 350 calories, 11 grams of fat, 170 milligrams of cholesterol, and 1,620 milligrams of sodium, the grilled sea scallops and shrimp skewers aren't quite as healthy as the other healthy options, but they are still healthier than many other menu choices, and with 31 grams of protein and just 1 gram of sugar, you could do a lot worse. The baked potato is among Red Lobster's healthy side items. While it usually comes encrusted in salt, you can also order it without salt, which will significantly impact the healthiness of this dish. A baked potato on its own is 270 calories with 4 grams of fat and no saturated fat. Without any of the extra dairy and meat toppings, it also has no cholesterol. Potatoes are definitely carb-laden, so you can expect 55 grams of carbs and 3 grams of sugar if you eat one. The skin also helps give it 6 grams of fiber, and it also will provide you with 7 grams of protein. Potatoes are a good source of potassium and vitamin C. Plus, they contain folate and vitamin B6. Keep in mind that every optional topping except green onions changes the nutritional content. For instance, butter adds 80 calories, sour cream adds 25, and cheese adds 40. And getting it with the salt crust will push the sodium way up to 1,730 milligrams, which is 75% of your total daily recommended intake. So if you're looking to eat healthy, how you choose to have your potato prepared will make a big difference. If you're looking for something fresh on the menu, Red Lobster's coleslaw is a good option, as it's made with fresh, raw, shredded cabbage and carrots. It's also popular enough to have inspired a few people to try guessing the recipe. Some of the guesses have included adding sugar and even a grated apple since the coleslaw is on the sweet side. Other guesses also include creamy ingredients like mayonnaise and buttermilk, acidic ingredients like apple cider vinegar and lemon juice, as well as a few spices. But exactly what's in it is still a mystery. Whatever the magic, a serving of the coleslaw is only 110 calories. The dressing adds 8 grams of fat, but only 1 of those grams is saturated. Plus, it has 10 milligrams of cholesterol. There's only 140 milligrams of sodium, and the carb count is only 10 grams. Being on the sweet side, it has 6 grams of sugar. It also doesn't provide much protein with only 2 grams. However, cabbage is a good source of vitamin C and vitamin K, and also has a decent amount of other vitamins and minerals. Meanwhile, carrots provide your body with potassium among other vitamins and minerals. Carrots also have beta-carotene, a source of vitamin A for the body, and antioxidants. The house salad at Red Lobster has a little more to it than just lettuce and croutons, as you also get fresh tomatoes, shredded cheese, and red onions. It's actually pretty big.
If it was a regular salad, I wouldn't have said anything. But you had to have that big salad!
The croutons and cheese drive the nutritional stats upward. Still, it only has 160 calories with 9 grams of fat. 5 of those grams are saturated fats, and it has 20 milligrams of cholesterol. The sodium content is fairly low at only 230 milligrams, and it comes with 12 grams of carbs and 4 grams of sugar. While it's not clear what lettuce types the restaurant uses, lettuce in general tends to provide a good amount of vitamins and minerals. Tomatoes are also a good source of several vitamins and minerals, as well as containing the antioxidant lycopene. The nutritional information for the house salad doesn't include adding salad dressing, which ranges from 70 calories for the citrus vinaigrette all the way up to 300 calories for the Caesar dressing, so be sure to keep that in mind when deciding on a dressing. Red Lobster's mashed potatoes are real potatoes and creamy enough to not need gravy. Customers on social media trying to guess the recipe think it contains ingredients like butter, cream, sour cream, and white cheddar. Everyone's trying to figure out these mashed potatoes.
This means something. It's important.
The possibility of those extra dairy products makes sense since the mashed potatoes have 210 calories and 10 grams of fat, 4 of which are saturated. They also have 20 milligrams of cholesterol and 670 milligrams of sodium. Potatoes being a carb-heavy food, it's probably not surprising that there are 27 carbs in this side, as well as 2 grams of sugar. Like the baked potato, though, you can also expect it to be loaded with vitamins and minerals. As with the baked potato, you can order the mashed potatoes without salt to lower the sodium, and you can also order a lot of extra toppings which will significantly impact the nutritional values. The Red Lobster. Seasoned broccoli side isn't just steamed broccoli with a bit of salt sprinkled on top. A Red Lobster employee revealed on TikTok that the broccoli is covered with the same sauce the chain uses for its scampi menu items. So, it's a buttery sauce made with white wine and a garlicky seasoning. But even with buttery scampi sauce, it's still one of the healthiest menu items at Red Lobster. The sauce does bring it up to 190 calories with 16 grams of fat and 40 milligrams of cholesterol. It also has 400 milligrams of sodium and 2 grams of sugar, along with 4 grams of protein. Broccoli is fairly nutritious, so it also provides vitamins like vitamin C and vitamin K, along with minerals like iron and potassium.
You'll get much better presents from Santa if you give him Cheddar Bay Biscuits.
You're probably surprised to hear that Cheddar Bay Biscuits can be a relatively healthy option as a side. While it's not loaded with nutrients like vegetables are, the stats are fairly decent as long as you aren't eating a dozen at once. The biscuits are one of the most memorable parts of a trip to Red Lobster. You get 2 free ones with every entree you buy at Red Lobster, and can also buy them by the half dozen or dozen. Assuming you just eat 1 Cheddar Bay biscuit though, you're only consuming 160 calories along with 10 grams of fat, half of which is saturated. There are also only 380 milligrams of sodium and 16 grams of carbs. And you'll be happy to learn that there's no sugar at all, but there are 3 grams of protein. So go ahead and have that biscuit and indulge yourself in the best that Red Lobster has to offer.